Hi guys, good to see you. I'm not as lit up today as I usually am. Weird. Oh, that's why. I know why. Hopefully you guys can hear me fine. You shouldn't have any issues. If you have any sound issues, please let me know immediately. It was like 10 minutes yesterday. 10 minutes playing Fortnite with this on. Thank you, Ohio. That's really nice of you to do that. I'm on chapter 11. Chapter 12, but I'm going to review chapter 11 real quick. And but first I need to put these wise lights on. Okay. Let's see. What I need my Harry Potter glasses, even though I'm not Harry Potter, so I'm not trying to be something I'm not. I swear. I'm so happy to see you guys in here. I missed the majority of you last night, so but you really didn't miss much. For like a good 8 to 10 minutes, there were sound issues that I didn't know of. So there's like 8 to 10 minutes of footage completely wasted, which sucks because, you know, I do have Hagrid right in the back. See Hagrid right there. Hagrid is waiting. Miro, I'm not playing tomorrow. I'm not muted. Don't even. I am. What? No, I'm not muted. I'm not muted. No. Yeah. No. I know, Miro, right? Habit is terrible. So mean. So mean. Habit is terrible. Let me see if I can make my... See, I don't want to, like, ruin that, though. I guess I could do this. I guess I could do this. I'm going to do this. Hold on. Okay. I'll do this. Bam. Okay. Let's... I'm going to go over Chapter 11. So, Chapter 11 was really a cool one. Because it had to do... with Quidditch. Snape takes a book from Harry saying it's not allowed. Harry's like, okay, that's a made-up rule. He's full of crap. Harry goes to Snape to ask for the book back, and he wanted to do this in front of other teachers because it may, like, put Snape in a bad place, right? He would have to say yes. So Harry finds Snape tending to his wounds on his leg because he, like, opens a door, and I forget who was with him. Was Quill or somebody was there helping him, like, or something like that, tending to Snape's leg. Snape saw him, gets angry, tells him to get out. Harry's broom, then during play, Harry's broom seems jinxed because Hermione looks across the way with binoculars and sees that, like, Snape is staring at Harry and, like, mouthing something. Now, those of you that seen a movie, we may know otherwise. However, Hermione, like, lights part of his, like, robe on fire and whatnot. So it distracts him. Harry's able to play again, and he winds up getting the snitch, winning the game, which is fantastic. Gryffindor wins the game because Harry catches snitch. Okay, so now we are at Chapter 12. And I'm going to start reading. You could tell my voice is quite hoarse just because I've literally been reading nonstop for 8 hours a day, like all week, to my class. So for a couple of days. But it takes a toll on the voice. I can't read for some reason. I thought the next day on the schedule said Thursday. Yeah, no, it's Friday. But if you want, I could show the art at the end of this session. I don't mind. So, you should join your brother on Fortnite. No. Okay. Now, so this is really neat. The title here is The Mirror of Erised, and I think I'm saying that correctly. And if you notice the word erised, what a mirror does, erised, desire. Look at that. It's desire spelled backwards. So I kind of like that it's spelled backwards. Now, if you hold this in the mirror, desire will come out written correctly, text correctly, and the mirror of would be backwards. So it's pretty cool. And I'm showing art. I could show art at the end of this session if you'd like. I do have, look, I have the art ready right there. See that? See up here? I've got Minty, Miro. So, all right. I say we get started now. Hopefully there aren't any sound issues, and there shouldn't be. So, okay. All right. just going to my... I guess it is. Okay, it's working. Whew. 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 Hopefully you don't hear anything. And let's get started. I'm going to start reading The Mirror of Erised, Chapter 12. Here we go. Okay. Christmas was coming. One morning in mid-December, Hogwarts woke to find itself covered in several feet of snow. God, I wish. The lake froze solid, and the Weasley twins were punished for bewitching several snowballs so that they followed Quirrell around, bouncing off the back of his turban. The few owls that managed to battle their way through the stormy sky to deliver post had to be nursed back to health by Hagrid before they could fly off again. It was quite a storm. No one could wait for the holidays to start. While the Gryffindor common room in the Great Hall had roaring fires, the draughty corridors had become icy and a bitter wind rattled the windows in the classrooms. Worst of all were Professor Snape's classes down in the dungeons, where their breath rose in a mist before them, and they kept as close as possible to their hot cauldrons. Must have been very cold, obviously. I do feel so sorry, said Draco Malfoy, one potions class, for all those people who have to stay at Hogwarts for Christmas because they're not wanted at home. God, he's such an ass. He was looking over at Harry as he spoke. Crabbe and Goyle chuckled. Harry, who was measuring out powdered spine of lionfish, ignored them. Malfoy had been even more unpleasant than usual since the Quidditch match, because, remember, Gryffindor won against Slytherin. Disgusted that Slytherin had lost, he had tried to get everyone laughing at how a wide-mouthed tree frog would be replacing Harry as Seeker next. Then he realized that nobody found this funny because they were all so impressed at the way Harry had managed to stay on his bucking broomstick. So Malfoy, jealous and angry, had gone back to taunting Harry about having no proper family. Miro, how was your day today? I'm just curious. I'm just curious as to how Miro's day was. Miro? Hello? Pizza time, Ohio. That sounds so good. Wow, that's funny. Miro is answering me. That means you can hear me. Gotcha, Habit. Haha. My day was great, except my stomach hurt really bad for like half a day. I'm sorry about that. Habit, no one cares about your day. How about that? You missed last night's stream, and you're trolling me while I'm trying to read. Back to reading. Habit's nickname is Draco Malfoy. Minty, I hope your day went fantastic. Minty, you're such a fantastic artist, too. After that painting I was seeing today. Okay, oh my God, where was I? Harry about having no proper family. It was true that Harry wasn't going back to Privet Drive for Christmas. Professor McGonagall had come round the week before, making a list of students who would be staying for the holidays, and Harry had signed up at once. He didn't feel sorry for himself at all. This would probably be the best Christmas he'd ever had. Ron and his brothers were staying too because Mr. and Mrs. Weasley were going to Romania to visit Charlie. When they left the dungeons at the end of potions, they found a large fir tree blocking the corridor ahead. Two enormous feet sticking out at the bottom, and a loud puffing sound told them that Hagrid was behind it. Hi, Hagrid. Want any help? Ron asked, sticking his head through the branches. Nah, I'm all right. Thanks, Ron. Would you mind moving out of the way? Came Malfoy's cold drawl from behind them. Are you trying to earn some extra money, Weasley? Hoping to be gamekeeper yourself when you leave Hogwarts, I suppose. That hut of Hagrid's must seem like a palace compared to what your family's used to. Jesus, Malfoy is rude. That's crazy. Ron dived at Malfoy just as Snape came up the stairs. Weasley! Ron let go of the front of Malfoy's robes. He was provoked, Professor Snape, said Hagrid, sticking his huge hairy face out from behind the tree. Malfoy was insulting his family. Be that as it may, fighting is against Hogwarts rules, Hagrid, said Snape silkily. 5 points from Gryffindor, Weasley. And be grateful it isn't more. Move along, all of you. Malfoy, Crabbe, and Goyle pushed roughly past the tree, scattering needles everywhere and smirking. I'll get him, said Ron, grinding his teeth at Malfoy's back. One of these days, I'll get him. I hate them both, said Harry, Malfoy and Snape. All right. Come on, cheer up. Come on, cheer up. I'm waiting for the ads to be done. 2 minutes for ads to be over, and I shall continue. Bam. All right. Bam. So I'm glad those of you, some of you that had a good day, I'm glad you guys had a good day. So Habit, how was your day? How did you do? What did you do? Talk to me while we wait. 1 minute and 30 or so seconds. 1 minute and 30 seconds for ads to be over. Bam. Yeah, Habit. Yeah. 1 minute and 30 seconds. All right. Honestly, crazy. Did you all have a good day? You guys ready for break? I'm so ready for break. We've got tomorrow and then the color run on Friday. And then that's it. We have a week off. But it's going to be raining. Like some places are under like flood advisory because we're getting like a foot of rain or something in the next 24 hours or something like that. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm so ready for break. I have ads now. I know, Dylan. I know. It's terrible. All right. 30 seconds. I'm waiting. Don't worry. I had an okay day. I was super tired, and then I had a surprise happen, and my mom bought me a mini Christmas tree for my room. Oh, that's cute. Excited to have a week off so I could sleep entire week. I think my sister was coming home, though. I don't know. I want to be in bed. And then I saw your awesome brother, and he's the best ever. Okay. I think you're bipolar between us. It's like you go back and forth. First he's the best, then I'm awesome, then you don't want me to move, and then he's the best again, and then you don't want me dying, and then he's the best again. God. All right. It's whatevs. All right, here we go. I am continuing the read. Habit, I wouldn't write that. I wouldn't write anything about it, on public. So, yeah. Just like delete that. Okay, moving on. Come on, cheer up. It's nearly Christmas, said Hagrid. Tell you what. Come with me and see the Great Hall. Looks a treat. So Harry, Ron, and Hermione followed Hagrid and his tree off to the Great Hall, where Professor McGonagall and Professor Flitwick were busy with the Christmas decorations. Let me see. Hagrid, the last tree. Put it in the far corner, would you? The hall looked spectacular. Festoons of holly and mistletoe hung all around the walls, and no fewer than 12 towering Christmas trees stood around the room, some sparkling with tiny icicles, some glittering with hundreds of candles. How many days you got left until your holidays? Hagrid asked. Just one, said Hermione. And that reminds me, Harry, Ron, we've got half an hour before lunch. We should be in the library. Oh, yeah, you're right, said Ron, tearing his eyes away from Professor Flitwick, who had golden bubbles blossoming out of his wand and was trailing them over the branches of the new tree. The library, said Hagrid, following them out of the hall. Just before the holidays? Bit keen, aren't you? Oh, we're not working, Harry told him brightly. Ever since you mentioned Nicholas Flamel, we've been trying to find out who he is. You what? Hagrid looked shocked. Listen here, I've told you. Drop it. It's nothing to you with the dog's garden. We just want to know who Nicholas Flamel is. That's all, said Hermione. Unless you'd like to tell us and save us the trouble, Harry added. We must have been through hundreds of books already, and we can't find him anywhere. Just give us a hint. I know I've read his name somewhere. I'm saying nothing, said Hagrid flatly. Just have to find out for ourselves then, said Ron, and they left Hagrid looking disgruntled and hurried off to the library. They had indeed been searching books for Flamel's name, ever since Hagrid let it slip. Because how else were they going to find out what Snape was trying to steal? The trouble was, it was very hard to know where to begin, not knowing what Flamel might have done to get himself into a book in the first place. He wasn't in great wizards of the 20th century, or notable magical names of our time. He was missing from important modern magical discoveries and a study of recent developments in wizardry. And then, of course, there was the sheer size of the library, tens of thousands of books, thousands of shelves, hundreds of narrow rows. Hermione took out a list of subjects and titles she had decided to search while Ron strode off down a row of books and started pulling them off the shelves at random. Harry wandered over to the restricted section. He had been wondering for a while if Flamel wasn't somewhere in there. Unfortunately, you needed a specially signed note from one of the teachers to look in any of the restricted books, and he knew he'd never get one. These were the books containing powerful dark magic never taught at Hogwarts and only read by older students studying advanced defense against the dark arts. "What are you looking for, boy?" "Nothing," said Harry. Madame Pince, the librarian, brandished a feather duster at him. "You better get out then. Go on, out." Wishing he'd been a bit quicker at thinking up some story, Harry left the library. He, Ron, and Hermione had already agreed that they'd better not ask Madame Pince where they could find Flamel. They were sure she'd be able to tell them, but they couldn't risk Snape hearing what they were up to. Harry waited outside in the corridor to see if the other two had found anything, but he wasn't very hopeful. They had been looking for a fortnight. Fortnight, by the way, is 2 weeks. They'd been looking for a fortnight after all, but as they only had odd moments between lessons, it wasn't surprising they'd found nothing. What they really needed was a nice long search without Madame Pince breathing down their necks. 5 minutes later, Ron and Hermione joined him, shaking their heads. They went off to lunch. "You will keep looking while I'm away, won't you?" said Hermione. And send me an owl if you find anything. "And you can ask your parents if they know who Flamel is," said Ron. "It'd be safe to ask them." "Very safe, as they're both dentists," said Hermione. That's actually really, really funny. I'm saying Flamel, aren't I? Why, does it sound like I'm saying... No, I don't think I'm saying N. Am I? I'll review the tapes later just to see. It's quite possible. Being human, I have to concede I'm capable of making mistakes. But I really do feel like I'm saying Flamel. Flummel. Flummel, not Flammel. I'm saying this wrong. Well, I can't rewind, so it sucks for me. Doesn't it? Yeah. I apologize. Flummel. Why didn't they just spell it F-L-U-H-M-E? I don't know. That's just me. Flummel. I hope you're guiding me in the right direction on how to say that. No, I love the fact that I'm being corrected. So stop breaking my heart. What? I'm sorry. Okay, guys. My God. It's literally spelled F-L-A-M-E-L. How am I supposed to know? You wouldn't have known it was Flummel if you read this. I'm sorry. You're going by the movies. I don't even want to hear you, right? It's in the movie. I don't even want to hear you people. But thank you for the correction. Flummel. I'll rewind. Whatever this is. Flummel. Okay. All right. So once the holidays had started, Ron and Harry were having too good a time to think much about Flummel. Flummel! They had the dormitory to themselves, and the common room was far emptier than usual, so they were able to get the good armchairs by the fire. They sat by the hour, eating anything they could anything they could spear on a toasting fork. Bread, crumpets, marshmallows, and plotting ways of getting Malfoy expelled, which were fun to talk about even if they wouldn't work. Okay. Ron also started teaching Harry wizard chess. This was exactly foreshadow. I love it. It's very impressive. All right. Ron also started teaching Harry wizard chess. This was exactly like Muggle chess, except the figures were alive, which made it a lot like directing troops in battle. Ron's set was very old and battered. Like everything else he owned, it had once belonged to someone else in his family. In this case, his grandfather. That's funny. My grandfather taught me how to play chess. However, old chessmen weren't a drawback at all. Ron knew them so well, he never had trouble getting them to do what he wanted. Harry played with chessmen Seamus Finnegan had lent him. So Harry played with the chessman Seamus Finnegan and lent him, and they didn't trust him at all. Wow, the pieces didn't trust Harry. That's funny. That's pretty cool. He wasn't a very good player yet, and they kept shouting different bits of advice at him, which was confusing. Don't send me there. Can't you see his knight? Send him. We can afford to lose him. That would be pretty cool if the chess set could do that. I like chess. On Christmas Eve, Harry went to bed looking forward to the next day for the food and the fun, but not expecting any presents at all. When he woke early next morning, however, the first thing he saw was a small pile of packages at the foot of his bed. This is really cute. I'm glad Harry's being treated this way. Happy Christmas, said Ron sleepily as Harry scrambled out of bed and pulled on his dressing gown. That's really cool, because let's say in the event Weasley, they were like not the richest people. It's cute that he got him a gift. You too, said Harry. Will you look at this? I've got some presents. Oh, wait. Huh. I wonder if anything's from Ron, because that would have been cute. Anyway, what did you expect, turnips? Said Ron, turning to his own pile, which was a lot bigger than Harry's. Harry picked up the top parcel. It was wrapped in thick brown paper and scrawled across it was, to Harry from Hagrid. That's cute. Inside was a roughly cut wooden flute. Hagrid had obviously whittled it himself. Harry blew it. It sounded a bit like an owl. A second, very small parcel contained a note. We received your message and enclosed your Christmas present from Uncle Vernon and Aunt Petunia. Sellotaped to the note was a 50-pence piece. That's friendly, said Harry. Huh. Ron was fascinated by the 50 pence. Weird, he said. What a shape. This is money? You can keep it, said Harry, laughing at how pleased Ron was. Hagrid and my aunt and uncle. So who sent these? I think I know who that one's from, said Ron, going a bit pink and pointing to a very lumpy parcel. My mom. I told her you didn't expect any presents. Oh, it was him. And, oh no, he groaned. She's made you a Weasley jumper. Harry had torn open the parcel to find a thick, hand-knitted sweater in emerald green and a large box of homemade fudge. Every year she makes us a jumper, said Ron, unwrapping his own, and mine's always maroon. That's really nice of her, said Harry, trying the fudge, which was very tasty. His next present also contained sweets, a large box of chocolate frogs from Hermione. Aw, it's so cool he has friends like... this left only one parcel. Harry picked it up and felt it. It was very light. He unwrapped it. Something fluid and silvery gray went slithering to the floor where it lay in gleaming folds. Ron gasped. I've heard of those, he said in a hushed voice, dropping the box of every flavor beans he'd got from Hermione. Oh, Hermione got him a gift too. That's cute. I love it. I love it. Oh my God, when my power went out, have you succeeded yet? Yes, it's Flummel. And what I was saying before, bub, is that it's spelled F-L-A-M what? E-L? I mean, seriously? The only reason why you know how to say it properly is probably because excuse me. Hold on. Excuse me. No. I will not have this. I swear to you, it's spelled. Remember, I've got the European version. Where is it? Now I've got to go back because you're a pain in the buttocks. Where is it? Nothing. Harry, Ron, Hermione. Look, F-L-A. Dylan. Don't even call me. Dill. It is. Oh, I answered.
Flamel. It's Flamel.
Yes. They should have put an accent. It's spelled. I was telling you how it was spelled. I'm sorry. Flummel. Oh, Flamel. Oh, Flamel. Oh. Never mind.
Thank you.
I love the interaction. I can't believe you people are watching me read this. I got it. Flamel. Oh, it's Flamel. Now that makes a little more sense. I think there should be two M's. I'm not trying to come up with excuses here. Well, no, maybe with two M's it would be Flammel. I don't know anymore. What's real? Is this real life? Ah! If you know, you know. That's a meme. Okay, whatever. I do have to say, good looking out. Flamel. Okay. Flamel. Whatever. There should have been an accent. Where was I now? Look what you did. Okay, hold on. Beans from Hermione. Okay, I'm right here. God. Whatever. Flamel. If that's what I think it is, they're really rare and really valuable. What is it? Harry picked the shining, silvery cloth off the floor. It was strange to the touch, like water woven into material. What is it, like the invisible cloak or something? Oh, yeah, it is. It's an invisibility cloak, said Ron, a look of awe on his face. I'm sure it is. Try it on. Harry threw the cloak around his shoulders and Ron gave a yell. It is. Look down. Who gave him this? I want to see who gave him this. There's no signature. Do we find out who gave him this invisibility cloak? Does anybody know, like now? Like, I want to know now. I don't want to keep reading to figure it out because I feel like somebody is helping him try to find Flamel in the restricted library. I'm getting those vibes. You can tell me. I won't be mad if it's spoiled. Read the note on the gift, Crazy. But I did. Your father left this in my possession before he died. It is time it was returned to you. Use it well. A very Merry Christmas to you. It says there's no signature. Right. Was it Dumbledore? I forget. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty cool though. That's pretty neat. It's like they want him. They're like pushing for him to satisfy his curiosity. It's an invisibility cloak, said Ron, blah, 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 blah. Harry threw the cloak over his shoulder. Yeah, it is. Look down. Harry looked down at his feet, but they had gone. He dashed to the mirror. Sure enough, his reflection looked back at him. Just his head suspended in midair, his body completely invisible. He pulled the cloak over his head, and his reflection vanished completely. There's a note, said Ron suddenly. A note fell out of it. Harry pulled off the cloak and seized the letter. Written in narrow, loopy writing he had never seen before, with the following words. Okay. He left this in my possession. Who was his father's friend? Oh, it was Dumbledore? Okay, yeah. Okay, so I don't think Hagrid knows, right? I feel like he really is left in the dark. I don't know. I don't know if Hagrid knows. I think he's too innocent. He may be too innocent to know, like, Dumbledore's plans. Is he that close with Dumbledore? Like, that close? Okay, yeah, no, you don't have to explain why. I just want to know who it was. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it wasn't to push him to do things, but I mean, I guess we'll see. I'm really enjoying the read. I love it. There was no signature. Harry stared at the note. Ron was admiring the cloak. I'd give anything for one of those, he said. Anything. What's the matter? Nothing, said Harry. He felt very strange. Who had sent the cloak? Had it really once belonged to his father? Before he could say or think anything else, the dormitory door was flung open and Fred and George Weasley bounded in. Harry stuffed the cloak quickly out of sight. He didn't feel like sharing it with anyone else yet. Merry Christmas! Hey, look! Harry's got a Weasley jumper, too! Fred and George were wearing blue jumpers, one with a large yellow F on it, the other with a large yellow G. Oh, man. I love it. Harry's is better than ours, though, said Fred, holding up Harry's jumper. She obviously makes more of an effort if you're not family. Why aren't you wearing yours, Ron? George demanded. Come on, get it on. They're lovely and warm. I hate maroon, Ron moaned half-heartedly as he pulled it over his head. You haven't got a letter on yours, George observed. I suppose she thinks you don't forget your name. But we're not stupid. We know we're called Gred and Forge. That's funny. What's all this noise? Percy Weasley stuck his head through the door, looking disapproving. He had clearly come halfway through unwrapping his presents as he too carried a lumpy jumper over his arm, which Fred seized. P for prefect! Get it on, Percy, come on! P for prefect, that's funny. We're all wearing ours, even Harry got one. I don't want, said Percy thickly, as the twins forced the jumper over his head, knocking his glasses askew. And you're not sitting with prefects today either, said George. Christmas is a time for family. They frog-marched Percy from the room, his arms pinned to his sides by his jumper. Okay. All right. I like this. I like how it's written. I can't believe we're almost there. We're almost done with the first book of Harry Potter. It only took me how many years to finally read? That's crazy. This is a pretty lengthy chapter 2. I have a few pages to go. Harry had never in all his life had such a Christmas dinner. 100 fat roast turkeys, mountains of roast and boiled potatoes, platters of fat chipolatas, tureens of buttered peas, silver boats of thick, rich gravy and cranberry sauce, and stacks of wizard crackers every few feet along the table. These fantastic crackers were flamel. I'm trying to remember that name. You have no idea. Like, I am. It's not even here. There's nothing to read about flamel. I am. Yeah. I tried. Wow. Okay. And stacks of wizard crackers every few feet along the table. These fantastic crackers were nothing like the feeble muggle ones and the Dursleys usually bought. With their little plastic toys and their flimsy paper hats, Harry pulled a wizard cracker with Fred, and it didn't just bang. It went off with a blast like a cannon and engulfed them all in a cloud of blue smoke, while from the inside exploded a rear admiral's hat and several live white mice. Up on the high table, Dumbledore had swapped his pointed wizard's hat for a flowered bonnet and was chuckling merrily at a joke Professor Flitwick had just read him. Flaming Christmas puddings followed the turkey. Percy nearly broke his teeth on a silver sickle embedded in his slice. Harry watched Hagrid getting redder and redder in the face as he called for more wine. Harry watched Hagrid. Okay, so Hagrid's drinking. Finally kissing Professor McGonagall on the cheek, who, to Harry's amazement, giggled and blushed, her top hat lopsided. When Harry finally left the table, he was laden down with a stack of things out of the crackers, including a pack of non-explodable luminous balloons, a grow-your-own warts kit, and his own new wizard chess set. The white mice had disappeared, and Harry had a nasty feeling they were going to end up as Mrs. Norris's Christmas dinner. Harry and the Weasleys spent a happy afternoon having a furious snowball fight in the grounds. Then, cold, wet, and gasping for breath, they returned to the fire in the Gryffindor common room, where Harry broke in his new chess set by losing spectacularly to Ron. So that's showing you, I love how it's preparing for later on, like, Ron's good. He suspected he wouldn't have lost so badly if Percy hadn't tried to help him so much. After a tea of turkey sandwiches, crumpets, trifle, and Christmas cake, everyone felt too full and sleepy to do much more before bed, except sit and watch Percy chase Fred and George all over Gryffindor Tower because they'd stolen his prefect badge. All right, so far I'm doing okay. Okay. It had been Harry's best Christmas day ever, yet something had been nagging at the back of his mind all day. Not until he climbed into bed was he free to think about it. The invisibility cloak and whoever had sent it. Ron, full of turkey and cake and with nothing mysterious to bother him, fell asleep almost as soon as he'd drawn the curtains of his four-poster. Harry leaned over the side of his own bed and pulled the cloak out from under it. I envy those that can lay down and immediately fall asleep. I envy. I'm taking just a 2-second break here. I just need some water. But yeah, I definitely envy those that could just fall asleep. Takes me. Thank you, Dylan. Thank you for allowing. It means a lot. Very much so. Okay. Oh, man. His father's. This had been his father's. He let the material flow over his hands, smoother than silk, light as air. Use it well, the note had said. He had to try it now. He slipped out of bed and wrapped the cloak around himself. Looking down at his legs, he saw only moonlight and shadows. It was a very funny feeling. Use it well. Suddenly, Harry felt wide awake. The whole of Hogwarts was open to him in this cloak. Excitement flooded through him as he stood there in the dark and silence. He could go anywhere in this, anywhere, and Filch would never know. Ron grunted in his sleep. Should Harry wake him? Something held him back. His father's cloak. He felt that this time, the first time, he wanted to use it alone. It's amazing. Okay. Oh, thank you, Habit. I love it. I'll sing that later if I remember. Okay, he wanted to go at this alone. He crept out of the dormitory, down the stairs, across the common room, and climbed through the portrait hole. "Who's there?" squawked the fat lady. "Who's there?" squawked the fat lady. Harry said nothing. He walked quickly down the corridor. Where should he go? He stopped, his heart racing, and thought. And then it came to him. The restricted section in the library. He'd be able to read as long as he liked, as long as it took to find out who Flamel was. He set off, drawing the invisibility cloak tight around him as he walked. The library was pitch black and very eerie. Harry lit a lamp to see his way along the rows of books. The lamp looked as if it was floating along in midair, and even though Harry could feel his arms supporting it, the sight gave him the creeps. The restricted section was right at the back of the library. Stepping carefully over the rope which separated these books from the rest of the library, he held up his lamp to read the titles. You know, I'm thinking about the video game now, Hogwarts Legacy, and it's just really, really neat. I mean, I really do hope that game has won or does win awards because the attention to detail. It's like we were going through what Harry was, but what was it, 100 years before Harry came around? So it's like the game is also very, very well done. They didn't tell him much. Their peeling, faded gold letters spelled words and languages Harry couldn't understand. Some had no title at all. One book had a dark stain on it that looked horribly like blood. The hairs on the back of Harry's neck prickled. Maybe he was imagining it. Maybe not. But he thought a faint whispering was coming from the books, as though they knew someone was there who shouldn't be. He had to start somewhere. Setting the lamp down carefully on the floor, he looked along the bottom shelf for an interesting-looking book. A large black and silver volume caught his eye. He pulled it out with difficulty because it was very heavy, and balancing on his knee, let it fall open. A piercing, blood-curdling shriek split the silence. The book was screaming. Harry snapped it shut, but the shriek went on, one high, unbroken, ear-splitting note. He stumbled backwards and knocked over his lamp, which went out at once. Panicking, he heard footsteps coming down the corridor outside. Stuffing the shrieking book back into the shelf, he ran for it. He passed Filch almost in the doorway. Filch's pale, wild eyes looked straight through him, and Harry slipped under Filch's outstretched arm and streaked off up the corridor, the book's shrieks still ringing in his ears. He came to a sudden halt in front of a tall suit of armor. He had been so busy getting away from the library, he hadn't paid attention to where he was going. Perhaps because it was dark, he didn't recognize where he was at all. There was a suit of armor near the kitchens, he knew, but he must be 5 floors above there. You asked me to come directly to you, Professor, if anyone was wandering around at night, and somebody's been in the library. Restricted section. Harry felt the blood drain out of his face. Wherever he was, Filch must know a shortcut, because his soft, greasy voice was getting nearer, and to his horror, it was Snape who replied. The restricted section. Well, they can't be far. We'll catch them. By the way, I know I don't sound exactly like Snape. I'm just doing my best here. Hogwarts, New York City Legacy. Does everyone else friends say they're getting online and then you just sit there and wait for 30 more minutes? Yeah, that's why. Do you see why I don't like playing co-op games, Dylan? Because people are unreliable. Just saying. Anyway, moving on. So Snape is the one saying, hey, we're going to catch him. Don't worry. Harry stood rooted to the spot as Filch and Snape came around the corner ahead. They couldn't see him, of course, but it was a narrow corridor, and if they came much nearer, they'd knock right into him. The cloak didn't stop him being solid. Makes sense. Just turns you invisible. Doesn't make you go non-existent. He backed away as quietly as he could. A door stood ajar to his left. It was his only hope. He squeezed through it, holding his breath, trying not to move it, and to his relief, he managed to get inside the room without their noticing anything. They walked straight past, and Harry leaned against the wall, breathing deeply, listening to their footsteps dying away. They had been close, very close. It was a few seconds before he noticed anything about the room he had hidden in. It looked like a disused classroom. The dark shapes of the desks and chairs were piled against the walls, and there was an upturned waste paper basket. But propped against the wall facing him was something that didn't look as if it belonged there. Something that looked as if someone had just put it there to keep it out of the way. It was a magnificent mirror. Guys, the title of this chapter is The Mirror of, I'm hoping I'm saying it right, Erised, which is desire spelled backwards. Pretty cool. It was a magnificent mirror as high as the ceiling, with an ornate gold frame standing on 2 clawed feet. There was an inscription carved around the top. Erised. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so this is what it says, but in a mirror, it's going to say something backwards, which is cool. Erised stra ibru oit ub kafru oit on wosi. So I'm going to read it backwards, unless it says it like later on. I don't want to like go ahead. Okay, let me see. I show not you. I show not you. Not your. I show not your face, but your heart. I show not your face, but your heart. I love it. Your heart's desire. I show not your face, but your heart's desire. Sorry, guys, I had to read that backwards. That's pretty cool. That's neat. I love it. His panic fading now that there was no sound of Filch and Snape, Harry moved nearer to the mirror, wanting to look at himself, but see no reflection again. He stepped in front of it. I love it. I show not your face, but your heart's desire. And I think if I remember the movies, he sees the family, his mother and father. His panic fading, blah, 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 blah. Harry moved nearer, he stepped in front of it. He had to clap his hands to his mouth to stop himself screaming. He whirled around. His heart was pounding far more furiously than when the book had screamed. For he had seen not only himself in the mirror, but a whole crowd of people standing right behind him. But the room was empty. Breathing very fast, he turned slowly back to the mirror. There he was, reflecting in it, white and scared looking. And there, reflected behind him, were at least 10 others. Harry looked over his shoulder, but still no one was there. Or were they all invisible too? Was he in fact in a room full of invisible people, and this mirror's trick was that it reflected them, invisible or not? He looked in the mirror again. A woman standing right behind his reflection was smiling at him and waving. He reached out his hand and felt the air behind him. If she was really there, he'd touch her. Their reflections were so close together, but he felt only air. She and the others existed only in the mirror. This is cool. This is really cool. She was a very pretty woman. She had dark red hair in her eyes. Her eyes are just like mine, Harry thought, edging a little closer to the glass. Bright green, exactly the same shape, but then he noticed that she was crying, smiling, but crying at the same time. The tall, thin, black-haired man standing next to her put his arm around her. He wore glasses, and his hair was very untidy. It stuck up at the back just like Harry's did. Harry was so close to the mirror now that his nose was nearly touching that of his reflection. "Mom?" he whispered. "Dad?" They just looked at him, smiling. And slowly, Harry looked into the faces of the other people in the mirror and saw other pairs of green eyes like his, other noses like his, even a little old man who looked as though he had Harry's knobbly knees. Harry was looking at his family for the first time in his life. The Potters smiled and waved at Harry, and he stared hungrily back at them, his hands pressed flat against the glass as though he was hoping to fall right through it and reach them. He had a powerful kind of ache inside him. Half joy, half terrible sadness. How long he stood there, he didn't know. The reflections did not fade, and he looked and looked until a distant noise brought him back to his senses. He couldn't stay there. He couldn't stay here. He had to find his way back to bed. He tore his eyes away from his mother's face, whispered, "I'll come back," and hurried from the room. Oh man, I'm kind of getting a little emotional. Not gonna lie. That's really cute. I mean, you've got this kid had no idea about his parents, like how they died until later. Had no idea who he was, and yet he's still able to recognize his parents, like as though through intuition. It's really, really cute. It's really cute. All right, I'm going to continue. I'm sorry. Sorry. All right, 3 pages to go. Let's do this. "You could have woken me up," said Ron crossly. "You can come tonight. I'm going back. I want to show you the mirror. I like to see your mom and dad," Ron said eagerly. "And I want to see all your family, all the Weasleys. You'll be able to show me your other brothers and everyone. You can see them any old time," said Ron. "Just come around my house this summer. Anyway, maybe it only shows dead people. Shame about not finding Flamel." Have some bacon or something. Why aren't you eating anything? Harry couldn't eat. He had seen his parents and would be seeing them again tonight. He had almost forgotten about Flamel. It didn't seem very important anymore. Who cared what the three-headed dog was guarding? What did it matter if Snape stole it? Really? Are you all right? Said Ron. You look odd. What Harry feared most was that he might not be able to find the mirror room again. With Ron covered in the cloak too, they had to walk much more slowly next night. They tried retracing Harry's route from the library, wandering around the dark passageways for nearly an hour. I'm freezing, said Ron. Let's forget it and go back. No, Harry hissed. I know it's here somewhere. They passed the ghost of a tall witch gliding... They passed the ghost of a tall witch gliding in the opposite direction, but saw no one else. Just as Ron started moaning that his feet were dead with cold, Harry spotted the suit of armor. It's here, just here, yes. They pushed the door open. Harry dropped the cloak from around his shoulders and ran to the mirror. There they were. His mother and father beamed at the sight of him. See? Harry whispered. I can't see anything. Look at them all. There are loads of them. I can only see you, Harry. Look at it properly. Go on, stand where I am. Harry stepped aside, but with Ron in front of the mirror, he couldn't see his family anymore. Just Ron in his paisley pajamas. Ron, though, was staring transfixed at his image. Look at me, he said. Can you see all your family standing around you? No, I'm alone, but I'm different. I look older, and I'm head boy. What? I am. I'm wearing the badge like Bill used to, and I'm holding the house cup and the Quidditch cup. I'm Quidditch captain, too. Ron tore his eyes away. Oh, the desire. Yeah, because it makes you see desire. Ron tore his eyes away from this splendid sight to look excitedly at Harry. Do you think this mirror shows the future? How can it? All my family are dead. Let me have another look. You had it to yourself all last night. Give me a bit more time. You're only hiding the Quidditch cup. What's interesting about that? You're only holding the Quidditch cup. What's interesting about that? I want to see my parents. Don't push me. A sudden noise outside in the corridor put an end to the discussion. They hadn't realized how loudly they had been talking. Quick! Ron threw the cloak back over them as the luminous eyes of Mrs. Norris came around the door. Ron and Harry stood quite still, both thinking the same thing. Did the cloak work on cats? After what seemed an age, she turned and left. This isn't safe. Oh, okay. Did it work on cats? So it was the cats, right? Because Mrs. Norris goes around as a cat, right? This isn't safe. She might have gone for Filch. I bet she heard us. Come on. And Ron pulled Harry out of the room. God, all Harry wants to do is just see his friggin' parents. There's always something. I wouldn't have brought Ron. I think something that meaningful, I would have at least gone back alone and knowing I had more time. Anyway, neither here nor there. The snow still hadn't melted next morning. Want to play chess, Harry? Said Ron. No. Why don't we go down and visit Hagrid? No, you go. I know what you're thinking about, Harry, that mirror. Don't go back tonight. Why not? I don't know. I've just got a bad feeling about it. And anyway, you've had too many close shaves already. Filch, Snape, and Mrs. Norris are wandering around. So what if they can't see you? What if they walk into you? What if they knock something over? You sound like Hermione. I'm serious, Harry. Don't go. But Harry had one thought in his head, which was to get back in front of the mirror, and Ron wasn't going to stop him. Honestly, with all honesty, I was going. I'd be going. I don't give a crap. It's I want to see my parents. I mean, that's quite emotional, and not just his parents, his whole family. That third night, he found his way more quickly than before. He was walking so fast he knew he was making more noise than was wise, but he didn't meet anyone. You know, I have to stop again. What I really love about the mirror is that he does see the rest of his family. So he desires more than just seeing his mom and dad. At least this is how I'm interpreting it. He desires to fit in to, he's never really had a true family that loved him. So it's I could see why he sees the rest of his family. And there were his mother and father smiling at him again, and one of his grandfathers nodding happily. Harry sank down to sit on the floor in front of the mirror. There was nothing to stop him staying here all night with his family. Nothing at all. Except... So, back again, Harry? Harry felt as though his insides had turned to ice. He looked behind him. Sitting on one of the desks by the wall was none other than Albus Dumbledore. Oh, I really hope this is a nice interaction. Harry must have walked straight past him, so desperate to get to the mirror he hadn't noticed him. I didn't see you there, sir. Strange how short-sighted being invisible can make you. That's awesome. My God. I want to meet JK. I want to shake this woman's hand. Strange how short-sighted being invisible can make you, said Dumbledore, and Harry was relieved to see that he was smiling. So, said Dumbledore, slipping off the desk to sit on the floor with Happy. Oh, God, I love Dumbledore. You, like hundreds before you, have discovered the delights of the Mirror of Erised. I didn't know it was called that, sir, but I expect you've realized by now what it does. It shows me my family, and it showed your friend Ron himself as head boy. How did you know? I don't need a cloak to become invisible, said Dumbledore gently. Now, can you think what the Mirror of Erised shows us all? Harry shook his head. Let me explain. The happiest man on earth would be able to use the Mirror of Erised like a normal mirror. That is, he would look into it and see himself exactly as he is. Does that help? Tell me you don't think this is amazing. Bye, Dylan. Tell me you don't think this is amazing. What do you guys truly think of this? Write it in the comments. Because the writing really is phenomenal. Like, as a writer, getting into the heads of people and fleshing out these characters. I know, what's her Habit, you had my film class and stuff. It's like, it's not an easy thing to do to make them feel like real people. And I absolutely love it. Like, I love Dumbledore. I love how gentle he is with Harry. Let me explain. Like the fact that the happiest man on earth would not see anything else because there's nothing that the happiest man on earth desires. So I really, really think that's phenomenally written. Very, 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 very well done. I know you do. Harry thought, blah, blah, blah. That is, he would look into it and see himself exactly as he is. Does that help? Harry thought. Then he said slowly, it shows us what we want, whatever we want. Harry said this. So Harry says, it shows us what we want, whatever we want? Yes and no, said Dumbledore quietly. It shows us nothing more or less than the deepest, most desperate desire of our hearts. You, who have never known your family, see them standing around you. See? Oh, I love it. Why do you feel stupid? Miro? Oh, yeah, no, not good. Deepest desire, you who have never seen your family, see them standing around you. Ronald Weasley, I like how he called him Ronald, not Ron, who has always been overshadowed by his brothers, sees himself standing alone, the best of all of them. However, this mirror will give us neither knowledge or truth. Oh, I love it, because it's only showing your desire. Men have wasted away before it, entranced by what they have seen, or been driven mad, not knowing if what it shows is real or even possible. Brilliant. It's just brilliant. Oh, no. No way. No, I'm already at the end. The mirror will be moved to a new home tomorrow, Harry, and I ask you not to go looking for it again. If you ever do run across it, you will now be prepared. It does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live. Remember that. Wow, it does not do to dwell on dreams and forget to live. Remember that. This is so good. Now, why don't you put that admirable cloak back on and get off to bed? Harry stood up. Sir, Professor Dumbledore, can I ask you something? Obviously, you've just done so. Dumbledore smiled. You may ask me one more thing, however. What do you see when you look in the mirror? Wow, good question, Harry. I think so. That's me saying that. I see myself holding a pair of thick woolen socks. Harry stared. One can never have enough socks, said Dumbledore. Another Christmas has come and gone, and I didn't get a single pair. Another Christmas has come and gone, and I didn't get a single pair. People will insist on giving me books. It was only when he was back in bed that it struck Harry that Dumbledore might not have been quite truthful. But then, he thought, as he shoved Scabbers off his pillow, it had been quite a personal question. I love it. I love it. It's amazing. All right, are we going to see art tonight? I am going to go ahead and show you guys art from both Miro and Minty. Minty, are you here? Is Minty here? Anyone? Is Minty here? I have like one Minty art, so I guess I'm saving that. All right. I'll show Miro's art. However, let me go ahead and take that off because it is hot. That is okay. That is okay. Okay, so now I'm going to write this. Dylan left, Minty probably left. Yeah. That's okay. Harry Potter, so the Mirror of Erised. So Harry is given by someone. I'm going to do this. Someone remaining anonymous. Someone remaining anonymous. An invisible cloak. An invisibility cloak. Okay. Harry wearing said cloak. Cloak. Well, this isn't all that happened though, right? I have to actually mention Flamel. Harry, Hermione, and Ron search the library and the restricted section for a person named Flamel. Okay. No luck. Important. Harry, wearing said cloak, finds a mirror that shows the looker, the viewer. Let's do viewer. I like that better, even though they're both words. Shows the viewer their heart, the deepest desire. Okay. Harry sees family, goes back, returns twice. Okay. Dumble sits with Harry, saying gently requesting no longer to view the mirror, as it is useless, providing no knowledge or truth. Okay. All right. I'm going to show art now. Give me 1 second as I prepare. Oh, no. No. Harry Potter, 13. And then this is what? Flamel. Right? It's called Nicholas Flamel. Beautiful. Beautiful to the T. Bam. We are ready for next time. That has saved. Life is good. Are we ready for some art? Who's ready for some art? W in the chat if you're ready for some art. All right, here's one that's kind of sort of risque, but I really do like it. Brilliant piece of drawing, I think. Definitely. Oh no, I'm in the way. Hold on, let me boop 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 boop. Let me get out of here. There you go. Stop. Oh my god. Okay, there it goes. That looks pretty cool, huh? That is by Miro. You sent some art too, so I'm going to have to... There's going to be an ad in a second, so just be ready for that. Oh, Treff sent a lot. Yeah. Oh, I love that, Treff. I love that. They're... Okay, hold on. No, I've got to do one thing at a time here. Yes, I know. I would imagine. Okay, so great character. I love it. Moving on. This was some goofy thing. The more male characters released, the more Onzo looks like an extraterrestrial being in comparison. Welcome to Earth. That is funny. You can always go back and press pause on the YouTube video. Here's another one. At first, I thought this person was naked from the waist down. I was horrified when I first got this, but fortunately, those are pants, so we're good. And I can't. All right. I shall wait. BRB. I'm gonna take this off because it's hot. Very, very hot. Okay. Oh, that is so aggressively hot. Oh. Okay. Woo! That is hot. That is crazy. Does everybody in here have a subscription? Because then I don't have to wait for the ad to be over. 1 minute and 10 seconds. I love this book. I love this book. She's so freaking good. I'm honestly taking tips. I'm taking tips. I want to be a better writer. I do. Because that's amazing. Man, who is that? Oh, he changed. Ha ha. This guy looks amazing. Oh, okay. I thought you were being insulting at first, but then, like, way better than that Hogwarts guy. Oh, my God. Oh, thank you, Boo. Thank you, Boo Boo. So sweet. All right. Ends in 40 seconds. 40 seconds. Tis good, tis good. Tis good, tis good. You know what I could have done? I could have been doing that this entire time. No, I don't want to go there. I want to go to Facety Bookity. See if I got anything here. Nope. Okay. 10 seconds. I happened to be talking to the people subscribed because there was an ad. So now, let's get back to art. So there's this one. I really like this one. It's very cute. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to look at this piece of art. This is Minty's. I don't want to look at Minty's yet because she's not here. So I am going to do this, actually. We've got that. We've got this. I shall save these in pics. Oh, wait, what? Que pasa? Okay. All right, never mind. I'm putting that back out there. Then I'm going back, and then I'm going into... I have like a fan art folder now because I hate deleting these. So I'm just going to keep them all. I'll keep Minty's out there. And now we're going to see some habit, and I really do like this. So this is this was my brother's cat who he misses very, very much. And habit was going ahead and humanizing, personifying Mochi Human, the cat, which I think is really, really cute. That's really cute. I see what you did there. Mochi hat, red hat. And then look what she did here, which I find really awesome, by the way. Mochi, yeah, whatever. I think the actual spelling for mochi is M-O-C-C-I. Mochi ice cream. Let me see. Oh, no, I'm wrong. I am wrong. You are correct. I did spell it incorrectly. Shame on me. Shame, shame. Shame, shame. Shame and McShamerson. But let's look at this because it's really, really cool. Okay. I'm going to put this there. That's Mochi. And then this is that. All right. So here's my cat. The cat. Not my cat, but my brother's cat. Okay. There's Mochi, the cutie pie. Then you have Mochi in human form, which I feel like is really, really good. Isn't it cool? I know. Mochi was a very pretty cat. And Mochi was also like smaller than most cats. So even like growing, like almost fully grown, she looked like a baby. Really, really cute. I grew up with cats too, so. I remember I sent you that a while back. Yeah, yeah. And then you've got now Mochi wearing a red hat. And so this is really cute that you did, Boo. There's Mochi, really cutie. And then this is what, isn't that cool? I love how you stayed true to Mochi's color scheme, right? Oh, look, half the face. Wow. I'm just noticing that half the face is like that gray, which is why you gave Mochi human half gray hair, half like that blondish. That's really, really cool. That's really cool. And I do love how you kept with the color pattern like this. That's neat. That's a cool picture. Wow. Good job. Very, very good job. I got to put that in iDesktop, fans, Mochi. Oh, wait. I need to do this. Mochi red hat. Okay. Bam, 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 bam. Wait, what happened? Hey. Thank you. Okay. Cool beans. I'm going to go to desktop. Give me 1 second. Desktop pics. We're going to go with Darth Vader again. Thank you. Bam. Oh, wham bama. Whammy bama. Okay. That was a good read. I did enjoy that. I'm loving the book. And I can't wait for next Tuesday and Tuesday and Wednesday. This Friday, I'm streaming. Saturday, I'm streaming. Sunday, I'm streaming. So check on Twitch my times, please and thank you. You'll see the... Yeah, you'll see my schedule. So check Twitch for my schedule. Tuesday, Wednesday, reading. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, streaming games. And I've got a new game I really want to play that's like... It looks cool. It looks cool. So, yeah. Anyway. You all be safe. I love you. Hug someone you love, please. Do that now. Without, just because. Just because. And we're almost on vacay. Bye!